It's like
Good morning, everybody. Oh my goodness. I look and sound horrific. As you can probably tell, I lost my voice. I have had a very eventful weekend. I've been hanging out with friends, but I've also been doing a lot of work. So I've been working hard, playing hard. This week is midterm season, so I have a lot of things to do. I'm also gonna be leaving to celebrate my mom's 60th birthday on Friday morning, so my flight is at 5 a.m. So I thought I'd take you along a very busy week, just the weekdays. I was debating about filming the weekend, but I just wanted to enjoy it with my friends. Guys, life has just been so good. Everything's been go, go, go. It's so busy. I love being busy. I love being on my toes. Just look how tired I am. Like over the weekend, I was like, oh my God, my eye bags. I probably slept like 5 hours a night each night this past weekend because there were just so many things going on. So I really just needed to catch up on sleep this morning. And my body just really felt it. And I walked so much this past weekend as well. It was such a beautiful weekend, so sunny, and it was just amazing. You know what? I'm yapping a lot for someone who lost her voice. But when I was talking to my sister and my friends, they're just like, wait, your voice sounds so cool, raspy. And I like tried singing in the shower and I was like, I can't even like hit a note. Like no noise was coming out of my mouth. Gee golly, it is 10:33. I need some food and I need to finish this tea. I'm just munching on some blueberries right now, so if there's anything in my teeth, that's what it is. Let's talk about what I've been doing so far on Monday, the start of the week. So I woke up early and then I went back to sleep for 2 more hours because my body really just needed rest. After sleeping in, I ate brunch and then I had a phone call to be a weekly volunteer. I started volunteering at this Pay What You Can cafe last week and I had a blast. So now I'm on the weekly schedule for when I come back after the fall break. So that's going to be amazing just to be more involved with the community and to give back. Plus the food in this cafe is spectacular. It is so delicious and I really just can't wait to try everything on the menu. And then I went on a 20-minute walk to enjoy the sun and just get some steps in. After my walk, I went to the pool because the pool is going to close at the end of this month. So I just wanted to get even more vitamin D in and, like I said, enjoy the amazing bright and sunny weather. At the pool, I was just reading some of the lecture sources, things that I assigned for my class, and just things on my phone just to prep for lecture, future lectures, set up the slides. So I like to be productive at the pool still. Now it is post-pool. I'm eating eating my little snack. I'm gonna get ready to go to the little office workspace to get some work done on my tablet. And then I'm meeting up with my friend who's visiting from DC. So we're gonna have dinner with Ari, and it's just gonna be a yap session. I love blueberries. These are so good. In the future, I will film a video about my course syllabus, my course schedule, and basically how I run my class. So a lot of the extra credit opportunities for my students are ways that they can get involved with the community and utilize the resources that are at their disposal. I wanted to talk a little bit more about volunteering. This past year, I just came to the realization that I hate over-consuming, and I hate how consumption has defined my relationships with other people, my friendships, and the type of activities that we participate in. So I made more of an effort to volunteer with my friends. For example, my friend and I, we volunteered at this farm, and another friend of mine, we volunteered at this community cleanup, and we were just going around the neighborhood and the park to pick up some trash. And I was just reflecting about how we tend to view community service as punishment, and I wanted to redefine that. I used to volunteer a lot when I was younger, and then I realized I had stopped doing that, and that impacted more of my life than I come to admit. So I wanted to make a change and volunteer more often, and I just feel more like myself now. I feel just better. I just feel more connected to my community. So I definitely will continue volunteering, and that has been like the highlight of my month so far, just volunteering. So I really look forward to it. This is my napkin, and it looks so aesthetic. It looks like a piece of artwork. Call me Pablo Picasso. Anyways, we're gonna finish this, and we gotta get some work done.
Oh yeah, we definitely will.
Hello.
It's like as big as...
Hello. Today is a new day. I spent this morning handling an unexpected situation. It was pretty stressful, but I still tried to be productive. I did some laundry. Today is the last lecture before my students' midterm, so I knew I needed to get a lot of work done at the office, but first I had to fuel up with some brunch. I have been watching the show Girlfriend on Prime while I've been eating, so that's been a nice little suspense drama series. Since I'm going back to California on Friday, I needed to finish all the food in my fridge, and then I also wanted to give this little birthday gift to the maintenance guy at my apartment because it's his birthday this week. And now here I am at the office. So here's what I've got planned for today. We have 30 minutes of lecture, so that's just going to be normal slides and discussion questions, and then the next 30 minutes of class will be a review activity to help them prepare for the midterm. Each student was given a keyword, and they had to guess their keyword by asking yes or no questions to different people. So it's kind of like heads up, I guess, or headbands, whatever the game is. I think my students really liked the activity. A lot of them were laughing and smiling and interacting with each other. And then for the remainder of class, we just did a study session Q&A. I stayed behind after class to answer even more questions that my students had, and then I did some work in the office, and after that I went back to my apartment to cook some dinner. I had some pancit canton.
It's basically just Filipino instant noodles. I added some chili oil. I also added some cottage cheese. I know that sounds so gross, but I just needed to finish the food in my fridge, like I said. And then, of course, I had some time to do my 10-minute arm workout at the gym. For fitness and exercise, I really don't like high intensity, high impact workouts, so I much prefer something like this short 10-minute arm workout with light 5-pound weights. I'm able to be really consistent, and I also really love things like walking. Walking is my main form of exercise and movement. It's the day before midterm, so I had a lot to do today. I also didn't really film much because I was pretty much just working in the little office work pods in my apartment complex. So I got to squeeze in a morning work block, and then I grabbed some free Denny's. So I got their value slam, and then I loaded back up on some coffee to do some more work in the afternoon. Besides all my classroom tasks and responsibilities, I wanted to make sure I had some time for my own personal research, so I got some of that work done as well. And then I wanted to cook an early dinner. I had a lot of leftover potatoes that I needed to bake, and just finishing a bunch of things that were in my fridge. And after that, I wanted to wind down with some yoga. Yoga classes are free, so of course I'm utilizing these resources, and it's a nice way to de-stress and still get some movement in. Like I said, I prefer low impact, low intensity fitness, so here I am walking on the treadmill at the gym, and I like to habit stack with lecture prep. Today is midterm day, so I started off this morning getting ready. I also did some laundry, folded some clothes because I have to pack later tonight for my flight tomorrow morning. But basically, I spent most of this morning doing even more lecture slides. I like to work in advance, so I wanted to work on some lecture outlines and slides for future weeks. Since I'm going back home to California for fall break, I knew I didn't want to have to do a bunch of work while I was on break, and I didn't want to have to scramble to complete these lecture outlines and slides when the time came around, so it's better to just do it in advance. I was also answering emails from students who had last-minute questions before the midterm. Lastly, I was also working on this anonymous class survey for my students to give feedback on how the course is going for them and how I can improve as an instructor. I told them that if every student in the class fills out the survey, then everyone gets 1 point extra credit. So hopefully they get that done. But other than that, it's really just a great way to be able to pivot if needed. One of my top priorities as a college professor is to make sure my students are learning in an enjoyable way.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, today is midterm day, so we have a lot of things to do before the actual midterm, and we also have things to do after the midterm. We have to pack, we have to get ready to go back to California tomorrow at 5 a.m. So it's just gonna be a packed day. I noticed I haven't been speaking much in this video, and that's because there were a couple unexpected things that really stressed me out this week. Don't worry, I got it all settled and covered, but it just was stressing me out for the past couple of days, and I really just didn't want to speak. I was just so worried. Anyways, so today we had a work block session in this morning, and that was really productive. I got my tea. I also did a couple things in the morning, like folding laundry and just a little bit of packing, but I didn't really film myself packing a lot. I will film a little bit more of that later. But after we eat brunch, we are gonna walk to the office. We are gonna get even more work done. I have to staple the exams. When I get to California tomorrow, I definitely wanna finish grading the midterms, probably at my desk or at the library. and of course hang out with my family and see some of my friends. And yeah, it's gonna be a fun weekend ahead, so I have that to look forward to. Let me show you what we're having for brunch. So I made a bunch of potatoes because I still had some russet potatoes lying around and I needed to make that before I left. And I know I'll still have leftovers, so I'm gonna freeze the potatoes that I did bake. So I made these sinigang potatoes. So if you're not familiar with sinigang, it's basically a Filipino dish and it's so delicious. It's probably my favorite dish of all time. And I bought these sinigang packets. It's basically tamarind based. It's a souring agent for this dish. And I just sprinkled it all over my potatoes when I baked them in the oven. I added some tomatoes, so I have these sort of like breakfast potatoes, but I don't have any more eggs. So I am just trying to finish whatever's in my fridge. And then I'm gonna eat that with some cottage cheese. And then I sprinkled some everything but the bagel seasoning. And then I'm just gonna like dip the potatoes in this cottage cheese to get some protein in. Of course, I have my kiwi. This is my last kiwi. And I've been kind of lazy lately and I haven't been cutting my kiwis. So I've just been biting into it like an apple. Okay, I'm gonna go give my students their midterm exam. As I was stapling, you guys, I didn't realize how big the font was, and I was so confused. I was like, is this size 12 times New Roman? Here's another look at my professor fit for today. Everything is thrifted except for the bag. After the midterm quiz, I went ahead and looked at some of the responses, and a few of my students made me laugh, so that's why I'm smiling in some of these clips, because they left funny comments and they're just some silly students and I love them. I think they're a great bunch of kids. While my students were taking their midterm, I was updating the course page and uploading the class survey. I packed my dinner to eat at the office because I knew I wanted to get some work done in my office after the midterm quiz. So here's me eating a bunch of those potatoes that I made and also some salmon with some cottage cheese. I know this is such a weird meal, but like I said, for the 100th time, I'm just trying to finish everything in my fridge before I go on fall break. And here's me doing some more office work after dinner. We are done with midterms. After my students finished taking their midterms, I just went back to my office to eat dinner, and then I did some work on my computer. I'm not sure if I want to start grading the exams or the quizzes, but I did take a look at some of the responses, and some students got it, some students didn't. Basically, what I was just doing, I was creating a PowerPoint slide to show my students that all the answers on this midterm quiz are on the slides, are in the lecture. So as long as they paid attention in lecture, as long as they participated in class discussions and were on top of their weekly submissions, then they should have been well prepared for this exam. So they can't come to me and be like, I couldn't see it, I didn't know where to look, I didn't know how to study. It's literally on the lecture slides. And a lot of these short answer questions I literally just took from class discussions. So as long as they paid attention in class discussions and participated, they would have been completely prepared to answer those questions. So I'm most likely going to start grading tonight, but it's just a lot. It's like a lot to read. Now I'm regretting making them do 5 short answer questions because I looked at some of their answers and it's long. On all of the exams, it says read the instructions carefully. If you're reading this, add a star next to your name. And I like to add that in so that they can obviously get extra credit if they add a star in their name, and also to see who actually followed instructions, because right before I was handing out the exams, I told them read the instructions carefully, yada yada yada. And I basically got this idea because my high school civics teacher would do the same thing. Like if you're reading the instructions, add a little star for extra credit. So I would always keep an eye out. I wanted to implement that into my classroom as a college professor. And we have a very early morning tomorrow. I'm getting picked up at 3:30 a.m. to go to the airport. So I'm not excited to wake up that early. I'm gonna just probably sleep in the clothes that I plan on wearing, and then we'll see. We'll see what happens. Y'all, I'm having decision fatigue. Like, I don't know if I should just grade all the exams tonight. Like, I feel like I want to. But that's gonna be so tough. Okay, I should just like start walking back. Oh my gosh, these are the exams. This is a lot. And they get folded. There we go.
Once I got back to my apartment, I started grading the multiple choice and fill in the blank sections, and I gotta say they were having a rough time, especially for the fill in the blank section. But now I know for the future final exam, I will add a word bank for the fill in the blank section. I honestly didn't think that this quiz would be very difficult for them, but I was wrong. So I'm really curious to see what they say on the anonymous class survey. I am back home in California and I finished grading the midterms on the plane. So I was just updating the grade book at the library in the afternoon. It's very important for me to grade assignments and exams promptly because I know firsthand as a student that I would want to know my grade as soon as possible. Back in the vlog. What's a little dusty though?
Pala to? Yeah, sarap naman na.
Crab noodles. Wow.
Malamig pala yan. Malamig.
Get it, Mom. Get it, Dad.
Yan ang masarap.
I think you're supposed to dip it here, no? Cheers.
ganito